Hi, this is Jacqueline from Long Army by Jacqueline, and welcome to another Top 5 Friday. Today we're going to talk about the top 5 ways to put names, dates, and other words into your quilts. Let's get to stitching. I do get a lot of confusion about the difference between quilting and embroidery. So this is embroidery, and I partner with a local shop to get my embroidery done. And this is done before the quilt is finished. So this is only in the top layer. This is quilting. So you can see the stitches are a lot thinner. It's a lot more subtle. It's almost more of a textural element. This is done after the quilt layers are finished, and it goes through all of the layers. So there's the top, there's the batting, which is like the filling or the insulation, and then the back of the quilt here. And this stitching goes all the way through to the back and is visible from both sides. Whereas embroidery, I do this before the quilt block goes into the quilt, and the back of these stitches is inside the quilt, and you'll never see that. Another great way to spell things out in a quilt is to find fabric that has either words or letters that you would like. A lot of alphabet themed fabrics are out there, and you fussy cut, which means cut specifically the little part that you want to appear, and you piece together your message out of those individual letters that you found printed in the print of the fabric. So you always see the ransom note of cutout letters from magazines. Basically, that's what you're doing. You're finding each individual word or letter that you want and cutting around it and piecing those pieces of print together. So we're here on scene in my messy closet. Another great way to put words, text, into your quilts is a lot of things that you already have. So you might have children who have jerseys with their name on the back. You might have a t-shirt that's already screen printed or printed with the words that you're looking for. So incorporating already printed t-shirts or wherever your source may be into your quilt. So what I would do for this one is find a block size, maybe like a 12.5 that fits in here. If I wanted to include Bicycle Revolution in Gluckstadt, Mississippi, wonderful bike shop, my favorite bike shop. And you could put that whole block in your quilt. And if I only wanted the name of the store for some reason, I could also trim it this way so that all that appears is the text that I want to get into my quilt. So for the last 2 ways to get text, letters, dates, names, words into your quilts is piecing or applique. The difference is if I were to cut and sew so that these fabrics are sewn together in a single sheet, that is piecing. If I take a whole sheet of fabric and I take these pieces and I sew them on top and stitch them down, that is called applique. So piecing and applique are 2 great ways to get letters. Now these are a little bit more labor intensive, so if this is a custom quilt that you're purchasing, understand that a lot of elaborate custom piecing and applique is going to drive the cost up a little bit more versus fussy cutting letters that are already in the print of a fabric, fussy cutting letters that are already on a t-shirt or a piece of clothing, or already screen printed on your item, and embroidery for a long elaborate message. I would say embroidery is the way to go because you can customize that thread color, and it does cost a little bit, but it's a great way to get a lot of text into the quilt quickly and easily.